Should I click something or it's okay?
Yeah, we are live, I think.
Okay. We are absolutely live. Yes, maybe guys, I don't actually know. So maybe you can share where you are transmitting yourselves into our UFO spaceship. From where are you starting your transmission?
So I am based in Cologne in Germany, and we have nice weather here, nice evening.
Really?
Yeah, not really. It was ironic.
No.
Nice weather in Cologne, it's not possible. No way.
Yeah, I thought it it may be true because we absolutely have fantastic weather here in Stuttgart. But fantastic weather means I feel like I've seen snow for the first time in many years. So it's like really thick layer of snow, which makes me quite happy.
Cool.
No, I'm sending from the Havel Valley near Berlin, and the weather here is really cool because I was windsurfing last Thursday, and it was really funny and cold, but it was really great. Yeah.
Wow,
not bad.
Windsurfing? Did you what? Were you in a dry suit or how did you stand?
No, standard neoprene. 5
Tough
millimeters.
cookie.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have to do sport, and if you are moving the whole time, then it's fine. But you can't do a pause.
I'm not sure what that is.
Pause.
It's windsurfing jargon. I'm kite surfer, not windsurfer. Windsurfing jargon. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, guys, very happy to have you, and especially you, Stan. I'll introduce all of us in a second, but first of all, we talked about it briefly before. But one fun fact, since we will be talking about Photochain, which is your company, where's one fun fact that the world needs to know about Photochain?
Well, one fun fact that comes into my mind is as we started the platform, it was fully decentralized in the sense of blockchain. And we have a lot of folks on the platform, and some of them uploaded porn images. And therefore, we must introduce a layer, approval layer, so that not every image was online. So basically, it was a feature after this.
Okay, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, a huge chunk of the data online is connected to porn. So, yeah. Eventually, it would find a visual platform like yours, right? So.
But it's a big market, right? And there are some new really great startups out there. Maybe OnlyFans. They are running great business right now to get all the influencer girls on Instagram a business model, and OnlyFans is really successful. Stan, maybe you have to pivot in this direction.
I'm thinking about this, but then I need another name, like Pornochain or something like that.
There's a project. It was a really funny team. Spankchain, I think. Spankchain. It's still there.
Proud holder of these coins. Yes.
Yeah. Spankchain.
Spankchain.
Really, Mario, you invested in.
Oh, it's just a fun thing. They appeared on Bitfinex, and just without looking, I just bought a couple when they came up, and then afterwards, after I had them, I was like, okay, what is this about? Okay.
Okay.
Very fun. All right, guys. Maybe we have a short introduction for our listeners. So basically, our team today consists of Lars, who is co-founder at UFOstart. And we have Stanislav Stollberg as our appreciated guest, CEO at Photochain, and myself as a moderator and advisor to UFOstart, and Basti in the background, who is running the back office here during the cast. So yes, let's have a quick just 2 words on Photochain from my side. which is basically the company is a stock photo and visual illustration platform for editors and creative minds, basically bringing together the content providers and the content buyers, right? And all of this connected with the underlying blockchain technology. So, and Stan will let us know a little bit more about it in a minute. Just for our listeners to know, this cast will be approximately 45 minutes, and yeah, we're very happy to have you using our chat function here, so you can ask questions, which we will come back to at the end of the conversation. And exactly who wants to follow us? This is our CrowdCast number 3. We have 2 previous ones, and if you want to follow, please, on the upper right corner is a follow button. So that being said, I think did I forget anything, Lars? I guess we can move on to Stan, who will be presenting Photochain in a little bit more detail before we get to the conversational part. Stan.
Yes, thank you, Mario. So basically, you pitched Photochain in a short liner, and it's very exactly what we are doing. We are connecting content buyers and content providers with underlying blockchain technology. So it's it. I can share my screen. Yeah, can I? To show you some presentation.
No, we prepared your presentation to share it, but I think Basti lost the internet connection. If you have your screens there, you could do it too.
Yeah, I have.
Here we go.
Here.
Yeah.
It's just nice to have this as visual, visual mark. So Photochain is a visual asset marketplace, how we call this, because it's not only about photos, it's about vector graphic and other visual assets. We are focusing on solving 2 problems, copyright, infringement, and value redistribution. In the industry of visual assets, we have, as I said, 2 big problems, a lot of copyright infringements. And if you calculate the remuneration of content providers, you will see that in average, only 12% of the 4 billion market get money back. So with Photochain, we have a solution for these problems in a sense that we built a copyright management system on blockchain. We decrease unit pricing while the content providers get much more royalty. So content providers can decrease the unit pricing in comparison to Getty Image, Shutterstock, or other platforms. Just very short about the market. So this market is 4 billion big. And what is interesting about it, it's highly monopolized by 3 companies, Adobe, Shutterstock, and Getty Image. And these 3 companies dictate the market conditions. This market is vital, and in year of COVID, it showed a very good growing curve of 8% annually. So in essence, Photochain platform combines 3 buckets. 1 bucket is for creative, for supplier, 1 bucket for the platform, and 1 for the content buyers. The supplier must proceed with KYC, know your customer procedure, to be onboarded on the platform. With this, we ensure that only legit people are on the platform. So only people who really owns the assets they want to sell on the platform. Then we allow the creatives to set own pricing and to select own licensing. This is also very unique because no other platforms allow us to do so. Basically, other platforms are more resellers, while we introduce a marketplace model, similar to eBay. On the platform, we have a blockchain license smart contracts, and these smart contracts ensure that after the buying process started, we save the license in sense of ID of customer, ID of supplier, and ID of the asset in one transaction on the blockchain. And this transaction is immutable and stays for a very long time, forever, basically, because we are based on Ethereum blockchain, a very vital blockchain. And with this, you can show later if you go for court and you have copyright infringement, you can prove that you bought this license. Or if you are content owner, you can prove I am content owner because I uploaded this photo 5 years ago, and this is a transaction of the uploaded photo, showing my data and the data of photo. Then we have feature for reporting, some usual stuff. We have search powered by AI, artificial intelligence, and of course download for the customer. So it's very easy flow for the customer. The business model is pretty simple. We charge 30% on every transaction, which will hopefully lead to some nice revenue in 4 years, but it's not for investors. How do we market adoption? Because there are a lot of platforms which sell general stuff, so general stock images. We decided not to compete against them, but we decided to focus ourselves on medical content. And we are going to, so our strategic idea is to be the most exclusive medical content provider on the world. And we have now 165 million pictures on the platform, provided by our suppliers and by agencies we are working with. For example, DPA, Deutsche Presseagentur, and Alamy. And from this supply, we are taking mostly medical supply. And this is still around 20 million pictures, which is on the platform. So I think maybe presenting the founders. So myself, my background is in physics, but I worked a long time in insurance and banking companies, in IT security. Then we have our CEO, Stuart, who is an industry expert with 30 years experience. Andrei is our CTO, based in Ukraine, and David is our designer, based in Spain. And Stuart is also based in Spain. So we are a really fully decentralized team in sense of current time. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Stan. I think the question that is the most pressing of all is why why does your CTO not have a last name?
Oh,
just kidding.
You're right. You're right.
No, it's very noticeable.
Yes, you're right. Completely right.
He's known. He only needs one name. It's Andrei. Yeah, no.
He's really smart.
Before I hand over to Lars, I've just one. I know you mentioned it. It's kind of clear also for people who are listening, because we're talking about blockchain enthusiasts, right? We do this podcast for, but
yes,
especially for your model, kind of what's the big benefit? Maybe you can put it together once more, like the big benefit of the blockchain, especially in your industry, right? And also comparing to your competitors.
So during we developed this product, we conducted a lot of interviews with suppliers and also with potential customers about this topic. What is the USP of blockchain? And the main USP of blockchain is this trustless proof of license. So basically, you save the license as something, as a transaction forever. And this is good because with this you can prove your ownership of an asset, for example. It's like an asset management system, but decentralized. You can, if you do asset management system centralized, you can always change that in something in database. I know this because I'm from IT, and as I said to you, I work in banking industry, and it's very easily to change and to manipulate data. It happens all the time. So you don't think it's everything very cool there in corporates. With this, you have really proof that this license, this proof of license or proof of copyright, is not manipulated. This is the blockchain USP, so to say, from Photochain. I see the major USP. I think still the major USP of Photochain is high remuneration of the content provider. This is a major USP. The blockchain is number 2. We started, as I said, fully decentralized with sense of blockchain in mind. We didn't even have a real payment model in the platform. So everything was run by a Photochain token as utility token. But then we quickly saw that real customers are not there. They are not on blockchain space, content customers, and also content suppliers. And that being said, we shifted a bit more to traditional business and have the blockchain feature under hood. So basically, we don't promote this too heavily because our users don't understand this, regardless how much we explain to them. So it's not about being ignorant, it's just about, we must say blockchain is technical. So it's not front end for everybody. It's really technical feature, and it's underground. Not underground, but under the hood. So
under the hood.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting and an important fact for startups like us. We are early adopters in the market, and when it's the right time to transfer to the new wordings and to implement in the front end some blockchain related topics that standard customers can understand this. And I have a really interesting project on the Montesius University in Kiel, and that's there are only UX designers, and we talked about one funny thing, that in a blockchain banking system, all the people have to use buttons like transfer your Bitcoin, but there's no transfer, right? It's only the change on the protocol, but all the old wordings are there, like transfer your money, but and when is the right time to change the UX and the wordings that random people can understand this. So
this is indeed the big problem for all of us who are in this space. We need to understand how can we explain this whole system in a very easy, understandable way. So it's basically even work for, as you said, for designers and for product owners, not for technical people, because I see it's a big obstacle. Now we see blockchain is again hype, but the reasoning might be different. So
yeah, and it's also hyped for if I talked to a friend who had some insight into and he said that they're basically more and more baby boomers are joining the whole hype, right? And for very, very sure they don't dig too deep into the technical aspects of the blockchain and everything. So promoting something on the website with blockchain may to not so deep into blockchain customers, potential customers, it will be just okay, I don't understand, right? It's more of a okay, I don't really get it. Makes me harder to trust this platform. Yeah.
Yes, of course, but I am quite optimistic. So I see we are on the right way in this space. So more and more companies are adopting blockchain. For example, PayPal, as you saw, they are going to adopt it. very soon, and it was one of the reasons of the current hype. And it's a future. So the future is decentralized, definitely, but the question is when and yeah, and what we personally need to do for this.
Yeah. From my perspective, Stanislav, it isn't. There's no hype today. I read an article, and it was really interesting that PayPal bought most of the current bitcoins, and there was not enough supply to buy Bitcoin anymore. And this is for me not a hype. I think this is the standard ecosystem of Bitcoin, because there was not enough, and I don't know the current number, but I thought it's around 70% of Bitcoin and of PayPal and MicroStrategy. They bought 70% of the new mined Bitcoins from the market, and that's demand.
Market adoption, adoption, yeah. But on the other hand, to read about guys who throw away, this data Festplatte.
Hard drive,
yeah, with 250 million of bitcoins, and you cannot. It's nothing. You cannot do anything with this, and this is also a problem. So you are more responsible. You have much more responsibility if you deal with blockchain somehow. And people, so in general, they don't want this. Therefore, we need to understand how to make this very simple.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I beg to differ. I believe people do want responsibility, right? But they're not used to having responsibility in that way over their money, over their and there's somebody managing and taking care of it, right? And they have maybe enough responsibilities in other areas of life. So I don't need to have more responsibility, but once this change of mindset and like the benefit of this responsibility, taking over this extra responsibility, right? It goes up in the ranks of things you're responsible for. Then this may change. But I do think fundamentally people, I'd like to believe that people like to have responsibility, and also for this soon.
No, I hope so, but rather in financial things. For example, if you transfer money from your bank account, if it transferred to some wrong person, you could do something with this. You could go to bank, you could maybe reverse the transaction, where in blockchain you cannot, right? You transfer to some wrong wallet and that's it. And by this I mean the responsibility.
Maybe we need a special blockchain insurance, coming up,
or layers, another layers, maybe this reverting possibilities of reverting transactions, something like this, and it's of course possible. And by the way, regarding Ethereum, you have scaling problems, right? And therefore, people working on layer 2 solutions, so side chains for Ethereum. And without this, it will not work. So I mean, if you looked recently, a transaction into Ethereum cost 10-15 euros now.
Yeah, maybe it's a good point to start with our questions. We know right now you are really experienced with blockchain. And Stanislav, when did you get in touch with blockchain, with the topic of blockchain for the first time?
I think it was 2015. I mean, I heard about Bitcoin maybe even 2012, but for me it was really something strange. Also, I am a physicist and technical guy. It was anyway strange. I didn't believe it would be so. I didn't saw the value. It was my personal mistake. As I bought first Bitcoins for, I don't know, 100 euros, was 150.
I can tell you I had the most discussions with technical guys about blockchain too, and not with typical entrepreneurs from the marketing guys. They are inspired only from the vision. Oh my God, the vision is awesome. I'm being. but the technical guys asking me so much details about okay, what is this and why is this like this, and what was your eye opener that made you realize blockchain in this way?
I think for the
or
more
that you believe,
of most of us, as the price was up and the growth was very fast of Bitcoin, then I started to understand, okay, what's exactly about, what's the big vision of this? And then I saw the value, right? I saw this value in decentralized, trustless transactions governed by network, not by people. And it was eye-opener. And then I wrote a paper of Satoshi Nakamoto, the first Bitcoin paper, and tried to understand how exactly this works. And it was very funny. So I was really blown away as I understood the value of this. Before I did not.
Okay, and then you started Photochain, or what was your first approach to use it, to try it? Speculating.
First approach was to buy some assets to see how it works.
Yeah.
And then I understood. So I'm startup guy with my heart. Also, I worked in corporates, but I don't like corporates. Therefore, I'm startup guy.
Me too.
And I started to search for a use case, blockchain. I looked through different projects. Then I saw, okay, that might be a gap for this license management, asset management of blockchain, so to say. So I thought, okay, what is a very easy to implement use case for this? It's like photo marketplace. And I had in mind something like eBay for creatives. So this was in my brain. So eBay for creatives based on blockchain. Yeah, and started to research the market, wrote the white paper. Then we had a team. We developed an MVP. We tried to raise some funds to make out much more of this MVP. Then it came a recession in the blockchain space, and a lot of projects just closed. But we continued bootstrapped, so without funds, also only with our time. And then what we have now is the product marketplace. It works. It has first users, so we have around 1,000 suppliers, and during last year we collected the supply, and now we are ready to do sales push. And next weeks are very interesting for Photochain because we are starting this first sales, friend and family sales, I call this, because these sales will go to dedicated leads. And we see their feedback, and we will try to improve. So basically, this continual improvement process, and I hope it will be a very good one. I cannot know, but
just to clarify also for the listeners, if you say supply, that means the creative supply, right? That means the pictures. And you were talking about the media companies before that you partner with, but also me as a creative, right? At home, I'm able to access the platform and upload my pictures and my and video, I guess, too.
No, not video. Not for video. We need funding.
Okay, great. But I can upload my photos also as an individual, not only as a business, right?
Yes, you can upload your photos individual or as company. Once you proceed with this KYC procedure, you need to fill the form. And by the way, this procedure is provided by Stripe. So we use, besides blockchain and blockchain transactions, we use Stripe for payment. And so basically these two platforms.
I want to ask the same question, Mario. What is demand and what is the supplier? And the demand comes from the media agencies, or there are some. Is it a little bit more?
in general, these are media agencies or media teams within corporates even. So everybody who needs visual supply, and since everybody of us is now in home, not everybody, but a lot of people in home office looking on internet, and we see a lot of visual content, and this visual content need to be produced and need to be licensed, right?
Yeah.
And this is the whole idea.
Question just coming to my mind as somebody who has bought content, right? Digital content for websites, for material, for anything, and I'm sure you guys did too. See pictures that are used multiple times, right? I see the same picture here, I see the same picture there, right? And know it's some kind of stock image. So what just came to my mind would be interesting from a customer perspective. If I really want to have more or less kind of a unique content, right? The creators could basically also through blockchain say, look, here's my picture, I upload it, and there's like 10 versions of it, right? It's like 10 or 100, right? You name it. There's only 10 digital copies, right? That can be bought, and that would give me as a buyer the security that I will not find it everywhere. If it's like a great picture, right? Everyone likes it. And it's maybe the algorithm puts it on top of the platform, and half of the people are buying the same picture. That I find it everywhere else. Has that come to your mind? Like, have you experienced with that?
If I understand you correctly, you're speaking about feature like duplicated content, or how to avoid duplicated content, or
exactly. Like basically, right now I can go to some stock image page, and I can buy a photo. And everyone can do that too, right? And what if I want to be sure as a customer that this will not be done like 5,000 times?
Okay.
5,000 people have it, but only 9
that
other
the
people
photo
can have it.
Exclusive for one client.
You're speaking about exclusive license. It's indeed very interesting, and we have this on our roadmap to offer exclusive licenses, but not implemented yet because it's time.
Yeah, sure.
But it's very interesting, yes, of course, because US media agency want really this photo exclusive, and it's a good use case on the roadmap. I hope it will be implemented in some.
Yeah, I can imagine even something like a marketplace kind of style, right? Like a picture. The price of the picture varies due to demand, how many clicks does it get.
This would be really interesting, yes. So to implement kind of, not trading, but like trading algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? This would be really interesting, yes. Again, first customer first. So we need first customers, and after this we can make experiments. We are still in the fundraising period, so to say, for this one. But our strategy is to produce sales. So basically, we are focused on sales for now.
Yeah, and the photo is really expensive, right? If it's exclusive and one client has the whole rights on a global scale, maybe for the internet usage, then the image is really expensive, right? And
yes, of course. Yes, yeah. If this supplier creative agrees to this, if he can opt in for this, then yes.
But is there a price range? What do I have to expect to have to pay as a customer if I want a picture, for example, exclusively? I have no idea. I'm just out of interest.
It really varies. It can be 100 euro. It can be even 10,000 euro. So we have on the platform, I told you before, we want to focus on medical content. And we have some very exclusive medical content. There are some shocking pictures, from surgery or some diseases. We have all these pictures as our own collection. Copyright, so copyright belongs to us. They are all model released. Model released means person who are on these pictures, they agree that these pictures are used somewhere. And there are pictures which in the past was sold for several thousand euros for some medical press and so. Yeah, and therefore we decided really to focus on the medical industry more and medical content. It doesn't mean that we will make it broader in some time, but the market entry will be rather medical content.
Yeah, I think it depends on the basic price of the image. Yeah, and one image can be around 100 euro, and one image could be around 10,000 euro. And the question is more like, okay, if I want to buy this image for 100 euro exclusively, how much is it more to from the cost perspective? So, and then it's maybe around 10 times higher or so. Yeah.
You mean how to build the price for this, or
is it based on the photographer's decision or the?
Yes. So we everything what we offer for the supplier is based on their decision. They can set the license they like. There are different license types like royalty-free or rights managed, and they can define the price for this license.
Mm-hmm.
They could even define 10,000 euro. It could be in the system then.
And
of
that's
course,
not possible on the market leader marketplaces,
no.
right?
The problem is you don't have really marketplaces. All of the market leaders like Getty or Shutterstock, they are not marketplaces. They are rather resellers. So they are platforms which you as supplier give to them your assets, and they just sell for their conditions. Therefore, everything subscription based. We don't have subscription. At least for now, we have really price for asset.
Okay, and that's a difference. One of my questions I wrote when you pitched your project, why is your price model so much cheaper than regards to their competitors? And that's the answer, right?
Yes, indeed, it's not much cheaper. There are there is content which is exactly the same with the same price. There is another content which is cheaper and another content which is not. Which is more expensive even. It differs, so basically it really depends on suppliers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you for some years, but and I know you was part of the ICO hype. When we met the first time, it was there was the ICO hype, and you tried to set up an ICO for your project too, or your fundraising round. But what was your biggest challenge on the whole journey?
To find the right legal setup for this, because I am a rather conservative person, worked in bank insurance, and so therefore conservative mind. I was not one of these guys who were just crazy, did the ICO to the right time, raised a lot of money. I'm speaking about other guys. And then they were swept by SAC, for example, after 1 year. I know the stories. So I didn't want to be a part of this. I wanted to do everything in proper way. Therefore, we have proper legal setup with normal lawyers, everything right, correct to the law, to the crowdfunding law. And it was this legal setup what was the biggest challenge. Yes.
Next question. What was your best growth hack, marketing growth hack? I know you tried some things on LinkedIn. You are a developer.
Well, indeed, I tried a lot of things. So LinkedIn as well. Yeah, I had LinkedIn bot programmed, and by the way, I'm now banned on LinkedIn. So
really?
I'm on LinkedIn, but I cannot add anybody.
Oh God!
Because I added, this bot added, I think, 2,000, 3,000 people in 1 month, and yeah, it was a bit too much. So now I have 17,000 connections on LinkedIn, and that's it. So I don't really recommend this approach. Or I would say do this other way, not like me, not too fast, not too greedy. Yeah, there are a lot of different hacks. I would say frankly speaking, there is no real hack. I remember a time as we started to collect the community for Photochain, and I saw these people coming just from nowhere on their own without we done something really. So you need 2 points. The first one, you need the right timing, really right timing, and maybe you need the right idea. And at that time, Photochain was the right idea. It might be changed now, but it was right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, growth hacking is not every time. It's not illegal or a hack like the word we think about this. Some growth hacks are positive way. If you think about the new, wie sagt man denn auf Englisch? Schwein, was durch den Garten getrieben wird? Nee. No, I mean the Clubhouse hype on LinkedIn and Clubhouse. I think it was a great growth hack too, to make it invite only and only on the iPhone. And
Clubhouse,
yeah, and it was a official growth hack from my side. How could you implement your marketing in the product as growth hacking too? And yeah,
indeed, this club. I'm also in Clubhouse, and I don't really understand this platform. I wouldn't say I see some value, but I don't know. So yeah,
let's talk about it later.
Yeah, let's talk about it later. But regarding the growth hack, it was really cool example how to do it. So really
absolutely
cool, because people just contacted me and asked me, "Are you in Clubhouse?" And I said, "No, what is this new software platform?" So really cool. We can learn from this a lot. Yes.
Yeah. So should I ask you the next question? I don't know. What was your most serious setback? You had your biggest
fail.
Yes, mistake, fail.
Yeah,
can be like fail kind of implies it's your own fault, but it can also be like an external thing, right? What was the biggest inhibitor of success for you kind of in the past, or like setback?
The most important learning, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The most important learning is to be faster. So I tend to be more detailed, work to more detailed, and try to make everything perfect. And it's not the right way in the startup world. You don't need to be everything perfect. You need to start very fast.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say very big fail, but it was some small fails in the sense. Okay, timing was not the I think I'm better now on this than before.
Mm-hmm.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah. You are really a long time in this industry. Is there another blockchain projects what you really like, or what you are looking for to buy the coin? Or
I am in this industry, but I was concerned rather with Photochain and with this transition to standard industry. Therefore, I was not really up to date with blockchain last year, I would say. Of course, I look now on the current hype wave and all of the DeFi projects. Polkadot, I think it makes some sense, or maybe a lot of sense. But we will see, right? So they, I even tried to test myself, but I was not really successful till yet. They write very lot on their flags, like at the time of ICO, but we will see if it will work.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what we need are projects like Polkadot or like Cosmos, where we connect different blockchains and it will be interoperability. So that being said, maybe Polkadot is the coolest one.
Yeah. Is your next funding round crypto-based or token-based, or is it a typical VC round?
Indeed, we are looking now for a typical VC round because I frankly don't believe we have so much blockchain value for blockchain investors now. And it's for now at least.
Okay. I mean, since your customers are mainly from outside of a blockchain world, also that's interesting for more traditional investment.
Very far from blockchain world.
And
was suppliers.
Yeah, just out of interest, what are you about to raise? Like what amount are you looking for, more or less?
Yeah, it's several €100,000 to basically not for technology, but rather to implement a sales process and marketing, of course, sales and marketing. And we have also a plan how to make own collections. So we would hire a photographer and make also copyright own collections.
Yes. That's interesting, like Netflix and Amazon too, yeah, to produce your own content.
Yes, something like this, because then we are much more flexible. We have now a lot of content, as I said, but this content is not available in any country. I mean, not in every country. This is a problem.
Okay.
If you come from Germany, you will not see a lot of content because you are not opt-in, or we are not opt-in with these agencies. If something, I don't know, if something great will happen and we have all the suppliers of Shutterstock and of Getty, then we don't need another content. But it's not like this now.
Yeah. What is your preferred coin? Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Polkadot, right?
No, Ethereum. I think I love Ethereum.
Okay, why?
Because it's technically most progressed project and also proven project. A lot of suppliers, in sense of technical suppliers, and a lot of support, and other projects are really inspired by Ethereum. I think also Polkadot, of course. Or let's take IBM's blockchain. Forgot the name now. IBM.
Tezos?
No, from blockchain from IBM, but they forked Ethereum several years ago for this. So for me, Ethereum is really cool, and Ethereum.
Okay, cool. Should I ask?
Blockchain is the mother, of course. So the mother and the father of all
Bitcoin blockchain.
Yeah, Bitcoin blockchain, of course, and yes, so Bitcoin as well.
All right, maybe since we are running over time basically already, which is not bad. It's a very interesting conversation. Thank you very much, Stanislav. I guess we do have a little bit of time. We can squeeze some extra time out for at least one question from the audience, which is posed to you, and this will be the following. So, how did the decision to focus on the medical niche market affect your marketing strategy?
It affects marketing strategy because we are now really in B2B sector, and the medical content is demanded by agencies, marketing agencies, which works with medical companies, or by the marketing divisions within corporates or medical corporates. And we will base our marketing first really targeted. So we have a database of leads, and we'll send email to this people, and we will speak with them. We have also some phones, and so our approach is to be to serve, so to say. Because some of the people might ask us to find the right asset for them, even.
Yeah. Do you have special landing pages for this segment?
Yes, we have, but it will be online very soon. So it's
Okay.
online now.
Really interesting, because in the startup industry, it's a big problem for many founders to try all the market possibilities, to test it really fast, to learn really fast which market segment could be the first approach to get good revenue, but close the client really fast. And most of the startups have too many possibilities to search for clients, and that's the big problem. I think you have to focus on one niche, and I hope it's the right decision for you.
I hope as well. We focus on this niche because we own ourselves as company 50,000 of very specialized medical assets. This is one of the reasons why we want to focus this. Another reason is medical content is specialized content, and I think it's actual for all time.
Yeah.
Great. So maybe we have one last question, and then we wrap it up.
Yeah, sure.
So basically, the next question would be how do you manage to pass on such big royalties compared to your competitors?
Very easy answer. Before I started Photochain, I did business case where I calculated cost of infrastructure, and then I had in mind that the platform should be really automated in sense that you as supplier just come in, you onboard yourself, KYC is done automatically, and a lot of processes are automatically, basically. The only one manual process is to give an access to the marketplace for a supplier. But we do this because we see the supplier is legit. We check the KYC, we see his portfolio of the supplier, and then we can allow this. And the supplier might have 50,000 images, for example. So can you repeat this, the essence of question?
So the essence was basically since in the market right now, and by the traditional players, they pass on about 30% of royalties to basically the creatives or the companies, and you manage to be able to do 70%. So there's quite the gap. So there must be a reason. Either they're taking way too much, or you have a secret sauce that you may not want to share. But yeah.
On my opinion, they've taken much too much. This market is so monopolized, as I showed you, by 3 companies, and these companies have implemented their market conditions. It might be very cool, I don't know, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, it was cool also for suppliers, but in my opinion, it's outdated now. This market needs to be more social. So it's need to be more decentralized, so to say, not monopolized. And this was basically the idea of Photochain, to make it decentralized. I had also an idea to make a DAO of Photochain. It's in the white paper, but we are not there. We are simply not there. We need this missing puzzle of onboarding clients from the standard industry, and then we will understand how we can transform, or how we can play with this blockchain component more, and to teach them why we need this. So this is step number 3. So now we need,
Yeah, for us too, our dream is to decentralize UFOstart to have a real DAO, but that's not easy. Right?
Yeah, it's not easy, not at all. But we are on the road, right? So we are trying to do this. It's a process.
Yeah.
Great. Maybe we can share some experiences along the way, right?
Yes, we
What
have
works,
to.
what doesn't work, and then yeah, maybe come out as an actual DAO at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very
If
much.
there are no more further questions by anyone, I would say we wrap it up and say thank you, Stanislav, for joining us and giving an inside view of Photochain and and let us pick your brain about it, and obviously also to UFOstart for setting all of this up, right? Yeah, guys listening, don't forget to subscribe, upper right corner if you like our format. And Lars, the last word is on you.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Lars, for inviting me. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really interested to follow your projects then, and
I
good
will
luck.
update. I will, Lars. So, guys, maybe we speak not for the last time.
Yeah, bye bye.
Sure not. Bye bye.